Think about the last time you visited a supermarket. Did you see any short, fat carrots? Were all the bananas in the bunch different sizes? And were there any strange lumps on the potatoes? If you answered no to these questions, there's a reason why. Supermarkets in many parts of the world set very high standards for the appearance of their fruit and vegetables. Many supermarket employees believe that consumers want everything to look perfect. But if supermarkets reject these unusual carrots and lumpy potatoes, what happens to them? They often go rotten in the fields or go in the bin, and from there to landfills. In the United Kingdom alone, between 20 and 40% of fruit and vegetables are rejected before they even reach the shops. It's a shocking statistic, but there are solutions to the problems of food waste. Author and activist Tristram Stewart organises campaigns around the world called Feeding the 5,000. At these events, people use food that would have otherwise gone to waste to prepare free, delicious meals for 5,000 people. Volunteers make good meals from fruit and vegetables that may not be pretty, but are still nutritious and fresh. In many cities, there are also disco soup parties. At these events, volunteers prepare meals from unwanted produce while they dance to music played by a DJ. These events are a lot of fun, and they make people think twice about throwing food away. Some supermarkets are also trying to get people to think differently. The French supermarket chain Intermarché supplies ugly food in its stores. The fruit and vegetables look strange, but they're edible. They're also less expensive than more attractive produce. Consumers love the idea. In fact, Intermarché stores sold more than 1,200 kilograms of ugly fruit and vegetables in the first 2 days of the campaign. So, what can you do? Start by eating what's on your plate, and don't be afraid to try ugly or unusual foods. You can even organise a food waste challenge for your friends and family. By telling people about the problem, you're working towards the solution.
When Tristram visited farmers in Kenya in 2013, he was shocked by the amount of food waste. He met farmers who cut all their fresh green beans so that they were exactly 9 centimetres long. Why did they do this? Because all the beans have to be exactly the same size to go into the bags that are sold in the supermarkets. The farmers throw away 40% of their produce every week, not because it's rotten, but because many supermarkets reject beans that aren't the right size. In a country where 10 million people don't have enough to eat, it's crazy that these cut bean pieces are simply thrown away.
Today, I'm going to show you how to prepare a dish that's really delicious and that can be made from leftover meat and potatoes. You'll need some leftover roast lamb, carrots, celery, onion, flour, milk, cheese, and some boiled potatoes. Start by chopping the carrots, celery, and onions. Then fry them in a pan with some oil. Next, add the lamb, some flour, and a little water. Cover the pan and let the mixture cook for about half an hour. Add salt and pepper if you'd like. Take your boiled potatoes and mash them. Boil some fresh potatoes if you don't have leftovers. Add butter, a little milk, and cheese. Put the lamb mixture into a large dish. Spread the mashed potatoes on top of the meat. Then put the dish into the oven and bake it for about 25 minutes. When you finish, you'll have some delicious shepherd's pie.
Clean your plate. Canteen waste, and what can be done about it. It's lunchtime. You rush into the school canteen. You've only got 20 minutes to eat, but you also want time to relax with your friends before afternoon lessons. So you quickly get some food, eat half of it, and then the bell rings. What happens to the rest of the food on your tray? Chances are it goes straight in the bin. Does this sound familiar? Even if you don't do this, you probably know someone who does. In fact, in the United States, nearly a third of the food served in school canteens goes in the bin. All that wasted food is worth nearly $1 billion every year. Although food waste is a problem, many schools are finding ways to decrease the amount of food that gets thrown away. Some have simply changed when lunch is served. Students often rush to finish their food so that they can go to break. But when break is before lunch, students get the chance to burn off some energy first. Then they're hungry and ready to eat. Do you have much time for lunch? If you're like many students, you probably don't. Short lunch breaks make many students rush. When students haven't got time to eat, they are more likely to throw food away. Schools with longer lunch hours have less waste. Some schools are trying to involve students more and get them to make decisions about the food in their school. For example, some US schools reduced canteen waste by 36% when students could choose what food the canteen served. In many schools, students can make suggestions about the menu and then give their feedback later. It's also helpful to let students serve themselves. This way, they only take what they think they'll eat. Getting students involved can make a big difference. Even with all these great ideas, there will always be some food waste. However, all the unwanted food doesn't have to go to landfill. Some charities collect unwanted food from schools and use it to feed hungry people. One UK school came up with a great idea: Fruity Friday. Each Friday, students chop up all the leftover fruit from the canteen and use it to make special desserts for the whole school. And of course, fruit and vegetables can be composted or left to break down. Compost can then be used to make soil healthier and grow more produce. How much food is wasted at your school? What can you do to change the situation?
A new beginning. It's another day on Alteron 5. Another long, uneventful day. Outside, the sunrise fills the sky with a deep blue light. I check the information on my screen. Oxygen levels are good. Temperature in here is 20 degrees Celsius. Temperature outside is 40 degrees Celsius. Engine is dead. Food levels are low. I have enough food now for maybe 1 more month if I move slowly and sleep a lot. How long have I been here? 6 months? A year? 2 years? Time works differently when a day lasts 50 hours. I lost communication weeks ago. Now the only voice I hear is the one in my head. Slowly, I put on my heavy suit, my helmet, my boots, my safety harness. One more journey around the vehicle. One more check. Maybe I've missed something. Maybe this time the engine will suddenly come back to life. Outside, into the heat I go. Check the doors. Check the wings. Check the engine. I step over some rocks. I pick up an empty water bottle I must have dropped. Then I stop. Look again. I see something strange on the ground. There, where I put my last apple core, a tiny stem with something strange and ugly at the end of it. Small, blue and lumpy. Could this be a new beginning?